Hey everybody, Jake here, and I am just going to jump on here for a couple minutes and give an update on what's been happening at Threshold. We're going to be doing some video updates. That's something you can look for this week, and then coming in the future weeks, we'll be doing a weekly video update on just how to keep in the loop on what's happening. And so I just wanted to share for a couple minutes about the season we are in. We are preparing for relaunch. And when this whole thing first started, this COVID-19 crisis, it's been several weeks now. When it first started, it happened so quickly, and we were trying to make decisions. The elder team, we were talking, we were meeting, we were praying, discerning, and we found ourselves reacting almost daily to the current news and what was happening and regulations. And after a little while, we really felt like the Lord gave us a long-term strategy on how to move through this season and reemerge on the other side even better. And so we're calling it the Upper Room Season. You may have already heard about it through a blog post or through email. We've been communicating about this to our members already for a little while, and it's been harder to know how best to connect with and communicate with those that are part of the church or that come occasionally or regularly, but aren't members. And so I just want to say, I know it's been challenging, and maybe some of you have felt confused by what's going on at Threshold, or how come we don't know what's happening, or they're not really doing weekly, services and stuff like that. So I just want to apologize if you have felt confused or out of the loop a little bit on what's happening. I do feel now more prepared to share more what's going on, and this is one of the ways we're going to do that, through a series of weekly updates. And so I want to share about the Upper Room Season, what it is, what we're doing. We are preparing for relaunch. Again, as we were discerning how best to move forward, we wanted to have a long-term strategy. And we had just released vision for 2020 and beyond. It was brand new vision that was released in February. It was in the very beginning stages of unfolding. We were looking at a major transition that was coming up already in May, which was going to be changing our location, something that was out of our control, and also possibly changing our service time. And as we were processing and discerning, just really saw that this is an opportunity to lay a fresh foundation so that we can really move forward into the fullness of the vision that the Lord's given to us. And so we're calling it an Upper Room Season, just like the disciples. They were in the upper room for a period of days where they were praying, they were preparing, and the Holy Spirit was going to pour out and launch them into what we know as the early church. We see it like that. Another way that we're calling it is it's a cocoon. It's like we're in this cocoon time, and in this process we're being transformed. And just like the butterfly comes out of the cocoon in a different form, right? It was a caterpillar, now it's a butterfly, it comes out in a different form. We see ourselves doing the same thing, re-emerging from this season in a different form. Same values, same vision, but a different form, more equipped, more able, more ready to fulfill the things that God has called us to. So we're laying a foundation of prayer, we're laying a foundation of fasting, we're laying a foundation for pastoral care and other areas that we're putting in place during this time, and we're going to emerge on the other side. So what are we doing now? Well, there's different phases that we're in. We're in this first phase of this Upper Room Season, and we're focusing on the secret place. First and foremost, we have secret place challenges happening. We're focusing on getting our personal relationship with the Lord in its place. And we also have other ways to connect. There's virtual meetings happening, life groups and prayer gatherings. Helen's doing a great job keeping our kids ministry going with a weekly Zoom connection for kids. And we're also doing everything we can to care for people. We're finding out those that are in need. We're praying for people. We have benevolence and just really creative ways to care for each other and to stay connected during this time. But in this first phase of the Upper Room Season, we're emphasizing the secret place. We're going to be moving into a second phase. There's 3 phases. We're moving into a second phase. I don't know the exact time yet, but I'll keep you posted. And in that second phase, we are going to be having prayer meetings. We're going to have prayer gatherings that are going to happen every day of the week in preparation for this Relaunch. And so be on the lookout for that. Again, I'll have more details in future updates, but that's going to be the second phase, is the focus on corporate prayer, praying together, being the house of prayer that God's called us to be. If you've been around Threshold, you know that's a very important value for us. And so in that second phase, the primary focus is going to be praying together in groups, smaller gatherings, home gatherings. We'll probably have some virtual gatherings as well during that time, but we're going to have prayer, corporate prayer. And then the third phase is going to be when we fully relaunch our weekly congregation, our weekly corporate church service. And so, and all the rest of our ministries and everything else that we're doing. And so again, I don't have the exact time frame yet, but that's kind of an overview of the three phases of this upper room season. Secret place and virtual meetings and virtual connections is phase 1. Corporate prayer meetings is phase 2. And then the full relaunch of our church, of our weekly services, is going to happen in phase 3. And so in the meantime, again, you can stay connected in different ways. You can reach out to us if you have any needs, and you can stay connected through the different means that we have at this point. So be on the lookout for future updates. We will probably do a weekly video update. I might come on, my wife and I might come on, we might do one with our elders, we'll kind of see, but we'll take it on a week by week basis. But you can look for these updates on our website, on our weekly email newsletter, and in our social media outlets. You can look for these weekly updates that kind of keep you informed and in the loop on the progression of how things are unfolding. But I just want to say this as I'm going to bring this to a close. I fully believe that through this time we're in, God is waking us up. That it's a real opportunity for a reformation. It's a real opportunity for this revival. We've talked about revival. We want to see revival. We want to see the Holy Spirit poured out, right? And I believe that through this process, there's a real opportunity to go from glory to glory, like it says in 2 Corinthians 3, that in this time of the cocoon, in this time of the upper room, there's internal surgery happening. There's fresh encounters with God happening. We cannot afford to come out on the other side and just go back to business as usual. This is a real opportunity for awakening, for reformation, for revival, and for God's church to be all that God's called it to be. And so I'm excited. I know it's a challenging time. It's a trying time. It's again, an unprecedented time. But yet we also know that God is on the throne. He was not surprised by this situation, and He works all things together for good. He's still going to use this whole crisis for good. His purposes are going to prevail, His kingdom's going to advance, and Jesus is still on the throne. He is still the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So I want to encourage you, lean into God. Lean into your relationship with Him. Lean into Him in the secret place. And let's walk through this time together and prepare to reemerge on the other side. So God bless you. May God's peace be upon you, His grace be upon you. Be on the lookout for future videos. Again, as we move through this time, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can email info@threshold-church.com. And I cannot wait when we will be gathering together, first in prayer gatherings, then in our full corporate church services. Cannot wait for that, and look forward to seeing every one of you in person again soon. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.